Hey everyone, this is the CU podcast. It's completely unnecessary, as is Ian some of the time and me most of the time. And this is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
May 22nd, 222 Tuesday. Wow. Too bad it's not February 22nd.
222 Tuesday.
2022. We're going to be around 2022. I might be around. I don't know.
Hoping.
I'm Pat Contry alongside Ian Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Ian's feeling a little bit better, I think, than I am right now. I'm feeling like subdued and drugged at this point in time.
I mean, I feel off this morning. But let's
You
see.
feel off?
Yeah, I feel off.
You feel awful or just off? I
Off.
just feel off.
Off.
I did yoga yesterday, and usually after yoga I feel like better, but I just felt like afterwards. I got a good night's sleep too. Usually my routine now is I start on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
I used to only sleep on my couch because my mattress was the old one from Jersey I brought here until I got a new mattress last summer, which is an awesome mattress, but now I'm so lazy to walk upstairs. I hate stairs. And so, but now I'm starting to like sleep.
So does Donald Trump.
What are you trying to say?
Just saying.
Just don't start with our left-wing ideologies this soon, Ian.
Oh, we'll get into that a bit later.
But so now I'm sleeping for like 5 hours. I usually fall asleep between 11 and 12. So I'll sleep for 5 hours. At like 4 in the morning, I'll walk upstairs half asleep and fall into the bed and sleep for like 4 hours. It's probably not good. I probably should sleep in the bed for 8 hours. It's so much more comfortable. Good. Are you already getting tired of the story, or you're just
No,
tired
I'm
in general?
just tired.
You're just tired.
I don't get good night's sleeps.
No, never?
No.
Well, when I see you tweet at 3 in the morning, that's probably why.
That's usually after I've tried to fall asleep for like 45 minutes.
You don't just try to read?
No, that's all I've been doing lately.
Why don't you watch some old Pat the NES Punk videos to fall asleep?
That's gonna keep me wide awake.
Does it keep you wide awake?
Yeah.
Did you say you liked my delivery of the game reviews a few years back?
Yeah. I just
It's very sensuous. No, you didn't use those words.
Yeah, I need you to do something more boring.
More boring than the Stadium Events video? Did you see the Stadium Events video
I did. I watched that.
Was it entertaining?
Yeah.
Speaking of edutainment, let's celebrate 10 years of our pal Norm, the gaming historian.
That's right. Good
Let's
old
do
Norm.
that. You know Norm, McFrosticles on YouTube. That was his original name. when he put up his first video, like they put the picture of 10 years ago, it looked like he was fucking 11 years old.
He's
10 years ago. He's so young.
He's an eternally youthful guy.
He's just younger than us.
Well, he is young, but he looks very youthful.
But
as well.
even when he started, he was like 19 doing these videos. He looked like he was 12 years old doing them. So and his first video was the top loader, which is still hot garbage, but we disagree on that. Remember, we went back and forth in Retro back in the day about that.
I do not like the top loader at all.
No one should. Go get the AV Famicom is something else. That's at least decent. But anyway, so here's to Norm. He's heard me sing in the shower lots of times, so that means we're close.
Norm has been there for me at many conventions.
To do what?
Just to be there for me.
Just to
let me hug him and paw at him.
To paw at him.
To be an object and also a friend.
Okay, I don't know about the objective part. We're going to be at Luna Video Games in Chula Vista Saturday, May 26th, coming up between 1 and 4 p.m.
Yes.
Oh, unless Ian has to go to the bathroom and leave. Is there a bathroom for me there? I have to go walk to the taco place around the corner.
No, there's a bathroom.
Okay, I was making sure. I don't know how this works. It's part of the deal. So we'll have a certain NES guidebook. We'll be hanging out there. I don't think there'll be a console set up.
I don't know. There might be, but we'll be chopping it up. Come see us.
We're not going to be chopping up a console.
Chopping it up, slang, hip for the kids.
Is that ever a term for speaking?
Yeah.
Was it really chopping it up? Is that like
chopping it up?
Buffalo colloquialism?
Chopping it up, talking.
We'll be speaking with you all, and take if you want us to sign anything, take a picture, just chat about Wisdom Tree games or Ian's love for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. My love for hoarding games, whatever. Mm-hmm. We'll do it up.
I'll get some CeeLo games going off on the side.
CeeLo?
Yeah.
At first I was like, the singer. Oh no, CeeLo. I've played that.
Yeah.
Oh, with the big giant dice.
Well, I mean, you use 3 dice in a bowl or a ring.
Yeah, but it's usually in a Pop-Matic bubble at a casino.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
You could, although then it would prevent
I used to play in Atlantic City.
Okay.
It's just a fun game. The odds are awful.
Well, the odds are miserable.
Yeah, they pop in a Pop-Matic bubble. That's how it works.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you bet on upper, high, or low and things like that. Okay, we're going off the rails here. More importantly, the most important update in my life is that Pinball Arcade unblocked me on Twitter. So thank you, Pinball Arcade. I don't know what happened. I think your CEO must have got involved there. This is an outrage. But I'm unblocked. They watched our video. They retweeted our coverage. So sometimes there's justice in the world.
Pat lives and dies by who blocks and unblocks.
No, I don't, Ian. I've only cared about 2 people ever blocked me on Twitter, and Pinball Arcade was one of them. So that's what's been going on. You actually saw this is Ian must be like the glory days. When we're 20 years back, we're going to look at 2018 as the year where Ian actually complied with seeing big movies the same time as Pat to actually talk about them on the podcast. It happened with Thanos in Infinity War. It happened with Thanos was the name of the movie. It was Infinity War.
I was planning on going to see that,
but it happened with Black Panther, and now a third movie, Deadpool 2. We can actually talk about it before it's been out a month on the podcast. This is a momentous occasion.
Some movies I just don't care to see on opening night.
It's kind of my job too. But
no one likes our reviews.
What do you mean no one likes our reviews? What they do? You're just too lazy to go 5 minutes away to see a movie. I mean, that's no one likes. Okay, so you saw Deadpool 2. I saw Deadpool 2 Thursday night. I'm liking this Thursday night release thing. I like it because there's no fucking high schoolers there usually. Your Friday night's clear, and there's usually nothing to do on a Thursday night anyway, besides Taco Thursday at some places. So
yeah, the Thursday night releases are fairly decent. We went yesterday morning. That was good.
Matinees are fun. You get brunch.
Yeah, we did
Brunch and maybe a little hollandaise sauce dripping on you while you're watching Deadpool 2. I don't know.
Bonnie had pancakes.
Eggs Benedict's good there at the lot. But what did you think of Deadpool 2? And you just saw Deadpool 1 right before Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I saw Deadpool 1 for the first time. I saw it Sunday night.
I guess Bonnie did as well.
Yes. And we both really liked it. I thought the story was great. Thought the character was done better than I would have expected. Deadpool's a fun comic book character. Previously had some good stories. Funny, has been... has slowly turned into more of a comedic character. And the people who generally tend to latch on to Deadpool and cosplay him tend to focus more on the acting out parts, the fourth wall breaking stuff, the goofy stuff.
Sure.
And it gets a little tiresome.
Too much.
Gets a little tiresome. Ryan Reynolds' portrayal of the character does a really good job of getting what's great about that, but he never truly goes off the rails with it. He really finds a great balance of the comedy
and the more realistic, heartfelt stuff.
Yeah, the comedy and then the more realistic, human nature style stuff with him.
Is there romance in the Deadpool comic at all? Like they have in these movies?
I've mostly read the team ups and the one shots, so
because that's what threw me off of the first movie, and I enjoyed the first movie, but I was kind of thrown off by how much of the movie is the romantic subplot.
I'm sure there probably is, but like I said, I've mostly read the one shots and some of the other earlier stuff, and no, I don't recall that, but I would have to say that there has to be somewhere in there.
I mean, the first movie, I always say that you can tell there's no budget. There's only 2 set pieces in the movie, and the middle's just fucking giant flashback and romance and sexcapades in the bedroom, scenes like that where it's like they're really using some filler here, and it's really easy to see. I thought that there wasn't much to the movie, which they kind of admit. It's like, yeah, now we can do more in the sequel, and the sequel is like 4 or 5 times as big, with a lot more characters, better action sequences, better effects, more characters. It's not just before it was a joke about we don't have the budget for these characters, which they didn't. They had Colossus show up for like 5-10 minutes, and they had Negasonic Teenage Warhead, who comes back. But now you have other sets of characters as well, and you have spoilers. We're going to get into spoil territory. You have a big X-Men villain show up, which they really did a good job of having it be a real surprise, because there wasn't any trailers, no commercials talking about Juggernaut being in the movie. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute. Once you heard that boom, boom, I was like, okay, it's either the Blob or Juggernaut, I thought. And then I thought the Blob was in that awful X-Men Origin, so maybe it's not that. So once you saw it's a Juggernaut, I'm like, holy shit, this is the Juggernaut. This is not just the fucking awful one from X-Men 3.
Yeah, no, it was. I got an inkling pretty quick that it was going to be the Juggernaut, and it paid off. I mean, it was great to see the Juggernaut. I don't necessarily believe that a bigger movie made it a better movie. I thought both movies were very, very good. it was good to see it fleshed out more. It was good to see.
It was better villains the second time around. The villain in the first one was so forgettable. Just generic, bland British fucking villain.
Yeah.
What was his power? He can also regenerate, or was that his power, or he had fast reflexes? That was his power.
Oh, he's a villain.
Yeah, it was sort of like okay.
But I very much enjoyed it. There was a lot of fun nods, a lot of cool jokes. The appearance of Shatterstar made me laugh so bad. I thought it was great that Shatterstar was in there.
To see any sort of other X-Force characters.
Well, it was just fun to see that. Like I said, the Shatterstar bit was my absolute favorite. They got his hair perfect. I mean, even his crazy jumping poses were like fucking right out of the comic book. Yeah, and then just the Domino I felt was played very well.
Zazie Beetz did an awesome job as Domino. Like, she was great. That's what I mean. Like, when I thought about this, this seemed more like I like this movie better because Deadpool got to bounce off so many different characters. In the first movie, he really didn't bounce off anyone besides Colossus a little bit and Negasonic, and that was really it. And this, he's bouncing off of like several characters. And then Cable, his interactions with Cable were great because they're like the exact opposite character.
Josh Brolin, I mean, between Avengers and Deadpool, as now it's going to be hard for me to see him in anything that's not superhero related.
So you're going back and see No Country for Old Men, which is an awesome movie, which you comic book nerds out there should go see other Josh Brolin movies, or he played W in a movie.
Yep.
Going back to obviously the Goonies is where everyone first knew him from.
But it's I mean, just I've seen, because I went and saw Infinity War a second time this past weekend as well.
You went without me.
Yeah. My buddy Alan hadn't seen it, and now they're at Lincoln, so they asked if I wanted to go.
I almost didn't see it. I kind of saw it the first time, being that it was 2 feet in front of me, the screen.
So it hit me because
was that better the second time?
Yeah, it was better the second time.
Really? Mm-hmm. You got into it a little bit more?
Yeah, some of the minor issues I had with it the first time through were not
like too much. What was your minor issues? Too much comedy, things like that?
No, just everything. It wasn't so much issues. It was that everything. Having seen it once before and seeing it a second time, everything gelled a bit more. There's so much going on that getting to see it a second time, you really just get to take everything in a little bit better.
Sure. So I will say this: I really enjoyed Deadpool. It's a good not palate cleanser after Infinity War, but you come out happy. There's the great mid credits sequence is fucking hysterical. Like, that was, to me, the highlight of the movie.
That was very funny.
Deadpool corrects the past I guess Deadpool issues from X-Men Wolverine Origins, and then also Ryan Reynolds he gets to see it.
Yeah.
But then I thought there'd be a post credit scene, and there wasn't. So everyone's like, okay, it has to be something else, and there wasn't. So they already said they're going to do another movie with Deadpool. They don't know if it's going to be X-Force or just another Deadpool, but
they've got the cast at this point to slap together an X-Force.
Well, spoilers, they killed off all the X-Force characters that were there except for Domino and I guess Peter.
Yeah, Peter gets to live.
But I guess they can always go back and say, oh, we brought them all back, with the time. They could do that.
They're not going to.
You don't think so?
No one gives a shit about Shatterstar.
That's what I was saying. Well,
his joke is there. He's there for he was there for a while.
And the guy who spits, so I hardly know who that even is.
Oh, Bedlam, and Bedlam was Terry Crews, and fuck, I can't remember.
So they shot these sequences for the trailers to make it look like, oh, these guys are kicking everyone's ass. X-Force doesn't kick any ass. They get interviewed, which was a great sequence during the interviews. With the Vanisher as well. Forget about the Vanisher.
The best part about the Vanisher is
you get literally half a second to see who it is. Like half a second. It's not even a full second.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it's Brad Pitt. Spoilers.
I feel like he literally just had to send them like a still image of his face.
He probably could have. They probably got him in front of a green screen and just went that though. It was probably an hour of work.
Yep.
I think the interview said he worked for like a cup of coffee. But that's just brilliant getting Brad Pitt in there. I was kind of surprised there was no Hugh Jackman cameo anywhere. Maybe that would have been too on the nose. There's always like 3 Hugh Jackman references, or
he was in the mid credits role.
Well, I mean that was just footage though.
Okay.
Getting him actually back, but they always reference Hugh Jackman, and I mean the beginning of it is referencing how they killed him off. And it's like, oh, I got to top Logan now, and Deadpool kills himself because he's mad about his girlfriend getting killed, which is the smartest thing they could have done from the movies, because that would have dragged the whole movie down, having her in it the whole time, which it almost did anyway to me, always constantly going back and having children make us, a chance to be better people. And it's like saying that unironically in a Deadpool movie to me, I guess is okay, but to me that sort of felt out of place to constantly go back to that sort of theme.
I feel like you need it.
You need to have some grounding in real emotions.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's a family film is kind of cute, and Colossus is good in it, and Negasonic is cute with the girlfriend.
Well, that's my only negative is I liked Negasonic Teenage Warhead a lot. Their portrayal of her in the first Deadpool, and they brought in Yukiko in a totally wildly different form.
So I'm familiar with the character at all.
She's not a mutant and she's not a teenager.
Okay.
I mean, she uses a ninja stars as her like unless I'm missing something, the electric powers are brand new to this movie. And then Negasonic Teenage Warhead was just a telepath to begin with in the comics. And I think that was, I don't remember the first time I saw I think I saw her the first time in Astonishing X-Men, the comics. But I think she's from early 2000. I couldn't verify that with Vonnie. But yeah, she didn't have like any of that fire stuff or anything.
Really?
So I'm at the point where, I
don't care if they're minor characters if they change them.
Well, at this point, I don't care how they handle some of this stuff. After seeing how well the MCU turns out, I don't care when they make these changes because they're writing their own stories. They're staying pretty truthful to a lot of things. So when they bring in these characters and they try to keep them at least with the same attitude, but they have to change things, it's fine. They make multiple universes in comics.
Sure.
They change stuff all the time within comics now. It's cool. So the Negasonic version is whatever. Yukio's been around, and that's fine. I would have just liked to have seen them give Negasonic and Yukio more time. It seemed like they were gearing up for that by bringing in another character that was going to, partner up with her, be her girlfriend. And then she really has both of them have little screen time in that movie.
Well, sure. I mean, they don't have much screen time in the first one either.
Well, that's what I mean. It seemed like they were going to give them more.
I think that being that he was interacting with so many more characters like the X-Force and Cable.
True.
Like, I think that was... They managed to squeeze it in. Like,
sure.
Just the fact that there is a really good Juggernaut versus Colossus fight, like a proper Juggernaut Colossus fight in a Deadpool 2 movie, shocked me, and it was actually well done. To me, it was as good as they could have done with the CG. We disagree on how well the CG was done. I thought the CG was pretty damn good for that. Compared to the CG in the first movie.
No, it's good. I still think it looks dumb.
Old Juggernaut's a gigantic Hulk sort of looking guy. But he had the right attitude, he had the accent and everything. It was interesting. And in the rest there was a cute little X-Men cameo, which I thought was funny. The little X-Men cameo in the mansion was funny as hell.
Oh, yeah. When they're closing the door.
Yeah, they're actually there. They're like, yeah. Anyway, so that's our review of Deadpool 2. Not 8 weeks too late, like usually when we talk about this stuff.